Welcome back, everyone. We're back again with Boston United on our journey to professional, or we'll say professional, but I always do that, Premier League football at this stage because we're in the Championship and we're absolutely tearing it up. So I'll make this change here. We've been doing pretty well today. We're going up against Cardiff in the Championship, but since we last met, I believe it was last game we played against was Fulham and Millwall, where we bet Fulham 4-2, and then we lost to Millwall 2-1. Very annoying. It's one of those kind of games where, for whatever reason, it completely went against us. Stats wise, we had a much better game. I know it's just 2-1 there, and I kind of think it's to do with the fact that we started what's his name, Hartigan, even though he had like the best, he was like man match in the game, so it's kind of confusing. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's a trend I've noticed. I think it might be the way we're set up that we just don't play that well with the minute if he slows the team down a bit. But since then we've been on a pretty good run. After the Millwall loss, we went up against Sheffield United, bet them 5-1. Ty got a goal, Gibbs got a brace, Pass got one, and Tony got one. It was a surprising result because last time we played Sheffield United at the start of the season, it was a 1-1 draw. So it's crazy to see how we've come from there and to actually smash them. Went up against Sheffield Wednesday then, ironically, to two Sheffield clubs. Then we had a 1-1 draw against them. Thomas got us an equaliser in the 81st minute. That was great. But they went up against Ipswich. McGrath got us the goal. I wasn't expecting it at all. Ipswich were in pretty good form. We weren't expected to win the game, but McGrath got us the goal and we went through. They went up against Ebbsfleet Town. It's popping up. Ty got us a goal or a penalty, and Virtues got us an equaliser in the 87th minute, and it was a banger from about 30 yards out. Went up against Aston Villa again, bet them 2-1. Ty got a goal, then Tony got the winner on 80 minutes. Tony's been picking up a fair few goals off the bench. He's a great impact player. Then we went up against Ebbsfleet Town again, bet them 2-1. Conroy got a goal, as did Haygarth, and that settled the game out for a 2-1 result. Went up against Blackburn, bet them 2-1. O'Connor and McGrath both got goals. They were both kind of rapid fire. I think at that point when we got the 2 goals, the game kind of flipped on its head, and we were able to kind of just smash them. And then Kane got pretty much a consolation goal out of it, realistically, because I think it was Tomas headed the ball, or he either headed the ball or he volleyed it, and it just went towards Kanar, and then he just half struck it into the back of the net. So it was a weird kind of turn of events. Then we went up against Sheffield United, thinking we're going into this game going to absolutely smash them, and then it was a 2-2 draw again, which is weird. Ty picking up another goal and Haygarth getting an equaliser at the last minute, which is great. Unfortunately, in terms of transfers, we haven't made any significant ones. We just have Lee on. He obviously went to Rotherham for 30 grand. He was a great little signing for us, but as you can see here, he's not really good enough. Oh, he's joined a 6-month contract. That's strange. James Hardy, he's gone as well. Once again, they're not amazing footballers, but they did a job. But I think it was good to ship them off because we got rid of some of their wage, and we also loaned out Regan Miller. He's a young prospect who actually looks pretty good. He's like a 4.5-star, 5-star potential, but he's injured, is he? Oh, groin strain. That's grand. But he's out for about. We've tied him down to a contract. Anyone that looks halfway decent, we've tied him down, and I'm looking to get him out on loan because they're not going to be playing. But I still want to get rid of 1 or 2 more players. We still have about a day or so. So I'm still looking to get rid of Duff. He just does not want to go. At unwanted list. Sell at any price. Acceptable amount, probably 50 grand. Actually, I'll say 75. And I want to get rid of someone else. I'm thinking Masanda, just because he hasn't played that much, but his contract is up at the end of the season, so it doesn't make too much of a change if we decide to get rid of him. And my main reason for wanting I was going to get rid of what do you call it, Leakage, but I believe he is retiring at the end of the season, so not sure why. Yeah, so we can't get rid of him. Like, we could get rid of him, but he's not going to go anywhere. So, and he's kind of just completely declined in the last, I want to say, month and a half. Like he had pretty good pace. I think at the start of the season he was on like 9 pace, because when we got him he had 10 or 11, and then this season he dropped down to 9, and then all of a sudden he's at 6. So it's like he lost like a half a yard of pace in the space of like 2 weeks. So it's quite surprising. His stats wise are really good. We'll take a look at staff attributes. Ooh, he wouldn't be too bad as a coach. Jesus, and he has some. When did he play in Brazil? How does he have any? Maybe it was from when he went on international duty, maybe, I'm guessing. I'm really surprised by this. Offer him a new contract. Under 18s. Yeah, we'll give him a contract, because we actually got rid of well, we didn't get rid of him, but Davies left, Ben Davies, who was actually pretty good. He was alright at the start of the game. He's currently the manager of Lincoln, and like his stats as a coach are pretty sick, which is not bad considering he's a Continental A. I plan on eventually going back for him. Like, we've had him as a player, had him on under 18 assistant manager, then he became a manager of Pool, and then we went back in for him as a coach. So he's on 1.9k. We're probably, if we get back into Premier League, I'm definitely going back in for him. Like, it's the story of him coming back in. I might make him my assistant manager if we get back up there, because he knows the club pretty well, and I just want him to stay forever. He was such a great player in the early stages, and I just want to keep him in the club. Oh, he's so good. But yes, we want to get into the game against Cardiff now. Last time we played against them, it was a 2-2 draw, I believe. But yeah, we're going to see how this goes. Their team is quite stacked. I think he's 4.5, 1.8, but like, it doesn't look like crazy high amounts, but when you keep in consideration, like, Gibbs is probably our best player, 400k. It's ridiculous. 1.2, like, all their players are probably in around the million mark. And actually, I'll just go back to the home screen. If we go here, we're currently third, and like, if we win today, we'll go to, back to first or join second. Like, it's ridiculous how well we're doing. Like, 15 wins, 9 draws, 4 losses. This team just clicks so well. I don't know what it is. And also, I forgot, because our whole thing was to get rid of players to get our wage budget back on track. But since we got into January, we got an option from the board to change up our goals for the season. So originally it was just to avoid to survive a relegation battle, but now I can't see us going down, because we are currently 31 points from the relegation zone, and now we're in a stage to avoid a relegation battle, or to avoid the relegation spots, which is about, I think, 17th and up, which was realistically our goal this season anyways. But like, I don't know, I actually don't know what it is with this team. Like, they just tear people apart. I think we looked out what players we were able to sign, and getting players in like Tony and stuff, just to add more impact players, and then players like Haygarth is, for whatever reason, is just tearing it up at the moment. Like, he wasn't overall amazing in League One, and like, apparently Championship is his level for whatever reason. Same with Ty. He was kind of having a bad start, and then he eventually started to kick on again. He's on 6 goals currently, and then our two strikers are doing pretty well. McGrath's gone down to a 2.5-star striker for whatever reason, and then we have Tony on the bench, 4-star. Kyle John, he hasn't played that much, but I don't know, I still want to keep him around the squad. Reynolds is doing okay. Reed, I think he's improving a bit. Yeah, he gets played in drips and drops, but I've been subbing him on for Tomas. We actually might start him today. We're going up against Cardiff, and Cardiff are going to be a tough side, so I'd rather go with Tomas and then maybe bring on Reed for around 55, 60 minutes. 60-minute mark anyways. He's in such good form, and like a lot of our previous right backs were quite good at assists, but this guy has a great link of play, and he tends to get the kind of like how Ty is, he gets the pass before the assist, so he's kind of an important player. And he also knows he likes to score goals from range on his left foot for whatever reason, and he's a right only player, so it's a strange one. I don't know what happened there. Do they still have Matt Loden? He still has a bit of pace about him. I'm pretty sure he's 9 pace right now in the game, so having 9 at this stage of 34 is not too bad. Okay, we'll see if anything comes from this highlight. It's hard to tell. Nope. Oh, could have a chance. Also, the reason why Conroy is starting over Thompson or Dickinson is because he's actually picked up a knock. I don't know what it is. Ty and Hagar seem to score from that range the whole time, but Dickinson picked up a knock, so he's going. I think he's out for about another 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Actually, I think he actually could be back this week, if memory serves, because he was 5 days out for the Sheffield United game, and that was like 3 days ago. So he might just be just about fit. So we could see him back for next game. I'm just doing one game this episode. I want to keep it kind of short because I know the last episode was like 33 minutes for whatever reason. I just like talking. Yeah, so the plan is to eventually start getting back onto more regular uploads. I know I've been kind of not great at the last couple of weeks. Just had a little bit on the plate at the moment. But next week I'm off for the entire week, so hopefully I'll get some stuff done. I don't believe myself though, but I aim to. We're getting shots from long range, but our midfielders are actually quite lethal from range, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, we're not doing too bad. We're not having a whole lot of possession, but it's pretty much 50-50. Mangu. Please do not score from range here. Oh, they're probably going to score a header. Ty, who the fuck was that too? Gibbs could be on like 25 goals this season. It's ridiculous. He's hit the post so many times. It's pretty annoying. I think he probably could have got us a hat trick, or he could have got a hat trick in the Sheffield United game, hit the post, or just went slightly wide. We're actually working on his composure at the moment, because if he had composure above 10, he would be like a 20 to 30 guaranteed goal scorer machine by January, because I know he picks up a fair few goals where he is now, but I think he probably scores 25% of his shots that are on target, and he has a pretty good shots on target ratio. I think it's 70% or in around there, but he scored about 25% of his shots on target. Unlike McGrath probably gets about 50% of his shots on target, but then he gets about 50 to 60% of his shots that he gets on target as a goal. He tends to be the more creative player rather than the final goal scorer, which is why I tend to substitute him more often than Gibbs, because you can bring Antoni in, he can do both roles. So, and Gibbs is pretty good. I think his composure is the only thing that's letting him down. He has 8, but his concentration, decisions, determinations, everything's pretty decent. Off the ball's good. Leadership's not amazing. His positioning is a little bit poor, but I'm not too concerned about that, just because his concentration, everything's pretty good, and his first touch is pretty decent, and he has a pace to get himself out of difficult situations. Damn it, Jeff Mundy. I was trying to think of what that Mundy name sounded like, and I realized it was Ted Bundy, so we won't go into that anyways. Ooh, Tomas not having a good game. Get him off now, throw on Reed. McGrath's not doing overly amazing, so we'll get Tony on for him, and we'll make one other change. I'm thinking O'Connor. He's a bit knackered out there. get Carr on, especially if they have any free kick opportunities. He'd be pretty decent. And where are we at? 70 minutes. We're at home. Might as well go for it at this stage. It's probably the wrong decision, but I'd rather get the goal here. Especially their team's starting to look a little bit, actually we're a little more tired than they are, but we got some lethal strikers and stuff, so we might be able to make some dents or chinks into armor. And I'm going to focus on the left. I forgot to do that a while ago, but let's see if we can create a bit of space out there and then kind of off balance them, because I assume they're probably more focused with oh crap, Virtue got injured. Ooh, that is not good. He's one of our main men. We used all 3 substitutes. That is great. Crap. Okay, we're gonna have to leave him. Thankfully, we used 4 midfield, so losing the ball-winning midfielder is not the worst thing. Obviously, it's not great, but even if we lose him, it's not too bad. Just for at this stage of the game. Hopefully, he's not gone for too long, and thankfully, we have Reynolds. He can kind of step in for him, but Virtue is one of our best players, so it's going to be difficult if he's out for a while. Don't. Ooh, come on. Play it, Tom. Swing it. Oh, was he offside? Yeah, he was. Crap. Shame he didn't get on target. He wasn't too far off though. But damn. Our good goal from range, and then they had a kind of a consolation goal that just bounced around the place. Tomas didn't have a great game, which is annoying, and we decided to keep him on. I think it might have been his energy. He was knackered by probably about 45 minutes. You should feel demotivated, Mr. Pask, playing a 6.9. Terrible. But damn, how? Oh, please be like promotion contention. I'll check that in a second. Oh, 675. Jesus, big spender. Although I'd like to be making 675 a week, so I can't complain. Once again, we keep getting unbeaten records, so it's not too bad. How many draws are in there? 2 out of 6, so out of 18 points we have what's that, 14 points. It's not too bad considering we're a relegation candidate. Oh, 3 to 6 weeks. Okay, that's not too bad. We have Reynolds and a few other midfielders in the squad, so Dickinson 2 days, so it's not too bad. He'll be back soon enough. Oh, he's gone up to 4.5 stars. Lovely. He's definitely he's probably my ideal candidate in the summer. If we get enough of a kitty, like probably I'm talking like he's probably gonna cost more than 500 grand actually, thinking about it. But my main target player at the end of the season is this guy. Actually might look seeing if we can offer own end of next season. Yeah, let's do that. See if we can get him in, and if we can get some cash back in, because I do not want to get rid of him. Like, he's been, other than Gibbs, he's probably been our best player, and I can't risk not having him in the squad, so getting him back in again is ideal. And I think if we keep him till June, he becomes a homegrown player for us, which is great. I believe what's his name, Gibbs, is homegrown now. Is that our homegrown? Yeah, he counts towards one of our 8 players. That's great having Gibbs there. And then we have Tony. I was going to say we have Tony as well, but he's not one. I'm not sure if McGrath's one, but I think you have to be 21 for it. He joined when he was 20. Hey, it's surprising how I just look at him and I don't understand why he's 2.5 star. 45k, absolute bargain. He scored 15, 10 assists in 20 games, which is bloody ridiculous. He's definitely the reason we got promoted into League One. 14 and 12 last season in 43 games is not bad, considering he played as more link-up player. And then this season he's on 15 and 9, so he's more than likely going to break it. That's crazy. I actually want to take a look at Duff. I'm not sure how many goals he scored for us, but he's been quite influential. He's been here for a season longer. Also, we got him for 45k. I thought we got him for more. First season was poor, 7 and 19. Second season, 27 and 42. Then 12 and 40, which wasn't overly amazing. And this season, he has 3 and 7 substitute appearances. Like, he came on, he did good things, but like, he just, I don't know, he's just not up to it. Hopefully we're able to offload him. Same with Medina, actually. We might try to get rid of both of them now. Okay, we'll say 50k for him. I'll do unspecified, actually. And we'll do 3,300. Mostly I just want to get rid of them, just to get rid of the bodies, because it's going to be more difficult to sell them next season when they're a year older and they're going to be dropping down even more, especially when they're not being played. Unspecified, and we'll do U 2.2. See if anyone is interested. Like, there's clubs interested, but they just won't bite. You're unspecifying, and like all I have to do is make an offer. Okay, that's accepted, so we have him again for another season. I think he's been here for 4 years, so happy days. I suppose I also forgot we had Vardigan as well. I was going to say we need another defensive midfielder, but we kind of have one. Auto select, I guess. Oh, I just took off all these guys. So everyone's still in. Confirm, I guess. But yeah, so when are we gonna come back? Once I can take, oh, we're in second. I guess Southampton dropped points. Wow. Was not expecting that. That'll be interesting. And we're doing pretty well in the FA Cup. More than likely, I think if the 5th round, we'll probably get a Premier League squad. I can't remember what the draw is. But what do you call it? Where is schedule? Okay, so we have Southampton. Could do Wigan and Hull, or actually that might not be too bad. Wigan and Hull, and then for the following episode do Sunderland, Bristol City, and then for maybe the last one just do Fulham. See where we're standing. Otherwise, maybe bring it back and see if it's going to be into playoff contention, which I don't understand. Like I want us to lose at times so we can at least stay in around 10th, build a squad, and see if we can get it to a good Premier League level, because at the moment we should not be anywhere near where we are. Like if we somehow get promoted this season, like I have to spend at least 30 to 40 million to make this squad somewhat Premier League compatible. Like we only have relatively 2 players that are Premier League level. Maybe 2 with Virtue. Virtue could be like a half decent relegation Premier League midfielder, but I'm not sure. I suppose Hardigan could be as well if we decided to opt to wingers, which we probably will have to, because I don't think we can control the midfield in the Premier League. Like you need wingers to create space, and we need to get quality wingers. Like the wingers in the Championship are not too bad, but like they're basically like crappy crappy wide playmakers in the Prem. So I don't know. Anyway, we still have loads of games left, so I'm hoping we drop out and we just build a squad back. And also, if we do get promoted, I'm more and more afraid that we could lose the likes of Gibbs. But thankfully we took out a buyout of his clause, so he can't actually be bought straight away. But I don't think many of the other players do. I think Tomas doesn't. Huddart doesn't. I don't think any of our strikers do. Time might actually. But I'm not too concerned about that. Because if he goes, we can I think his buyout clause is like 500 grand, so we'd be able to get a relatively similar player in that mold. I wouldn't like to lose him, but you never know. But I'm talking too far away ahead, so that's like next week's problems. But yeah, sure, we'll end it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.